Hey there, kindergarten friends. Welcome back for some more writing with me, Mrs. Schoonerman. Remember yesterday when we wrote together, we wrote about a personal narrative, a type of writing where we told a story about something that really happened to us in our lives. And the story that we wrote about yesterday was a time when we were scared. So remember, I showed you on my story, there was this one time when I went snowboarding, and the part that I was most scared about, the little seed part of my story that I was so afraid of, was the chairlift, the thing that took me way up the mountain. And I was just so scared of getting off of it that I thought I was going to fall. But then I tried it. I did my best, and I was a natural. I did it no problem. And then I wasn't scared anymore. I just had to try it. Well, today we're going to write another personal narrative, another real story of something that has happened in our lives to us before. But today, our personal narrative will be, today we're going to write a personal narrative about a time when you went to a park. That's what we're going to write about. We've all been to a park of some sort at one point in our lives. Maybe you've gone to a nature park and you went hiking. Maybe you went to a park and you had a picnic at a park. Maybe you went to Seabreeze or to an amusement park and you got to go down the water slides, or like to a water park. Maybe you've gone to a playground before. Maybe you went to Seabreeze or Darien Lake, Six Flags, somewhere like that, an amusement park. So there's a ton of different kinds of parks that you could choose from. Lots. Nature parks, water parks, regular parks for a picnic, a playground park, or an amusement park. So think about a time that you went to a park, and that's what we're writing about today. All right, let's read today's learning target together. I can draw and write about a time I went to a park. Let's say that one more time. I can draw and write about a time I went to a park. All right, so that's what we're writing about. That's our learning target today. All right, let's review what a personal narrative is. Remember, when we're writing a personal narrative, think of it as a choo-choo train story. It has a beginning, there's a middle part to our story, and there's also an ending. I really want to focus on the seed part of this today, the seed part of writing a personal narrative. That's our big focus. Remember our watermelon story. We're not going to write about the whole watermelon. We're not going to write about just a slice. We're just going to write about a tiny little seed part of when we went to a park before. Because going to a park, you may have done a ton of different things. You may have gone, if you went to an amusement park, you might have gone on the Ferris wheel and the roller coaster and the yo-yo swings and the water slides. There's a lot of stuff to do. Instead, we're going to focus on just one part, maybe your favorite ride that you went on. Okay, now it's time for me to share a time that I went to the park. So now it's my turn to tell you a story. When I was a little girl, one time I went to a park and it was Seabreeze. And this is me as a little girl, and that's my mom. And these are some people in the ride that I don't know. But this was my favorite ride at Seabreeze. It's called the log ride. And I loved this part. And the reason I loved this part of the park is because when you go down the hill, you get splashed with water. And so that was my favorite part of the park. There was a ton of other things I did when I went to Seabreeze. I rode the roller coasters. I went on the yo-yo swing. I went on the teacups. There's a lot of different things. But for today's writing, I'm going to just focus on that one small ride that I went on, the log ride, when I went to the park. Okay, writers, so now it's time for you to use your looking eyes and your listening ears. Now I'm going to model how we're going to make our personal narrative today about a time that we went to a park. Your story is probably definitely going to be much different than my story because it's your story. But for my story that I just told, it was about the time that I went to Seabreeze and I rode on the log ride. Remember, when you go and get your paper, make sure you write your name on it and today's date. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2020. Now remember, in a personal narrative, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. So the first thing I need to do as a writer is I need to think about my picture. I need to think about what happened at the beginning of my story, what happened in the middle, and what happened at the end, and draw each of those pictures. So the first thing that happened was I was a little girl. That's when it happened. I was really little. So I'm going to draw myself really little, and I'm going to draw myself with my mom. That's why I went to the park, to Seabreeze with, to the park. So here's me, and I'm much smaller than I am today. And then my mommy. And we were probably holding hands. And she had a ponytail. And I had my hair, I had a really big bangs in the front. Okay, so we're there. Now, in my picture, it doesn't show where I am. That's not making very high quality details. I should show that I'm at the park. So maybe what I could write is, ooh, I have an idea. I'm gonna make it as if we just walked into Seabreeze. So I'm gonna write Seabreeze. This is the welcome sign when we get in. And we're walking in and my mom, she's got the money and she just paid. So one day I went to the park, I went to Seabreeze. Then the little seed part of my story that I want to talk about is what ride was my favorite, what I went on that was so much fun. All right, so I need brown for this one and blue for this picture, because remember, the favorite part of the park, what happened when I was there, is I went on the log ride. So the log ride is basically like a roller coaster, but in the water. So I'm gonna make the big hill part of the log ride that you go down, and that's the water right there. That's why I used blue. And then I need to use brown to make the log, because that's what you sit in, is a big plastic log. And then I'll draw me and my mommy's head. Ooh, and those other two people. There were other people in there. So I'll draw all the people that were on the log ride with us. Okay, here we all are sitting in the log ride. And then I'm gonna add some movement lines going, woo, ooh, and a big splash at the end, because everybody gets splashed at the end. At the end, that's right, I need my ending part. So at the end, I got to the bottom. So I'm gonna put down at the bottom, the water is a little more flat. We're not on a hill anymore. And in that picture you saw that I showed you of my mommy and I inside the log ride, that's what I'm going to draw for the end, is us at the very bottom and those two other people that were in there with us. And everybody was super happy because it was a lot of fun. It's fun to go on rides at the amusement park. And there we all are sitting in the log ride. I'm going to add a little more water over here too. Oh, and I'm going to add a little blue on our heads, because this shows that we all got splashed. So there's water all over our heads because we all got splashed when we went down the big hill in our big plastic log. All right. Now, writers, it is time for the next part of our writing piece. We drew the picture. Now it's time to think about what we want to say, what we want to write. Think about the words. Well, remember, we need to write what happened at the beginning. I'm going to write about what happened in the middle of my story and what happened at the end. So my story goes like this. A long time ago, that is the beginning of my story. A long time ago, because this didn't happen yesterday. This didn't happen. This happened when I was a little girl. I was much younger. So I'm gonna write a long time ago, I went to Seabreeze. That's what's happened at the beginning of my story. We always start our sentences with a capital letter. Remember the writing checklist. So use a capital to start our sentence. A long time ago, I went to Seabreeze. Now, I don't have room here, so now I'm going to move all the way down over to the left side over here to start the rest of my sentence. A long time ago, I went to Seabreeze. I hear an S. E. I hear an E. C, B, B. A B. C, B, R. And oh, there's two E's next to each other. Seabreeze. Z. A Z. We never get to write Z's. I feel like I never get to write a Z, but in Seabreeze, there's a Z. Seabreeze. We end our sentence with punctuation. There's my period. Okay, I'm starting a new sentence. That means I need to start my next sentence with a capital. And my next sentence has to do what happened in the middle of the story. So in the middle of the story, I went on the log ride. So I'll start capital I. I went, went, on, leave a finger space between your words, on, leave a finger space, the, there's two sight words, I went on the log, log, that's a good tap out word. All right, here we go, log, L-O-G, L-O-G, L-O-G. I went on the log ride. Okay, and what happened at the end of the story? Remember, I got splashed. So that will be my final sentence to write about what happened at the end. So now we have to start with another capital. We started a new sentence. I got. Another one to tap and stretch out. Got. G. Got. Okay. G. G. O. T. I got splashed. And that will be the final word in my story. And when I'm done with my sentence, when I'm done with my thought, what do I need to add? Punctuation. I need to add a period. Ooh, I'm not adding a period, no. Nope. Nope. I am shouting it out because I got excited about it. I got splashed. So I'm adding an exclamation point. Kapow! All right, writers, you know what time it is. It is time for you to go and make your writing piece about a time that you got excited. So go ahead, get a piece of paper, get your pencil, get your crayons, and hit today's learning target. Write about a time when you went to a park. It can be any kind of park. Remember, an amusement park, a water park, a playground type of park, a nature park. So when you're all done, have an adult take a picture and send it in to us, and we will be so happy to see what happened the one time that you went to a park. Until next time, friends, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.